So we talked about the Brits and their 6th gen. But now the Royal Australian Air Force
RAAF
requests more information on the Euro 6th gen. So this thing is becoming a joint program. Yeah, it's called the Global Combat Air Program, and the Australian Defence Force has requested information regarding that. It is aimed to be developed for service by 2035, which is in today's dollars very ambitious. It's joint to replace the Eurofighter Typhoon, and in the British and Italian service, the Mitsubishi F2, which is the Japanese version of the Viper. And it is going to have all the revolutionary tech and have a collaborative effort, including Saudi Arabia. The RAAF has attended an informational briefing, which involves understanding of how Australia might operate the aircraft. BAE Systems, Leonardo, and Japan Aircraft Industrial Enhancement Company Limited announced an agreement has been reached under a new joint venture, Global Combat Air Program. So, Gonky.
Sir.
Too many cooks in the kitchen, or a global world initiative bringing everyone together?
I think it's really smart that the Royal Australian Air Force is entertaining it, right? That's all the article is saying, is they're just, hey, give us more info about this thing. We may be interested, we may not. So, I mean, they owe it to their taxpayers to look at all options on the table. So I think the Aussies are doing a good thing. As far as the Globo fighter,
Globo Jim.
The Globo 6th gen fighter, dude, I don't know, man. It's hit or miss. I mean, the Typhoon were a little on the young side, but the Typhoon was kind of a joint Euro fighter, right? Venture, and it panned out, right? I mean, it's a good jet. So
it had some growing pains.
It did. And of course, our Joint Strike Fighter has clearly had its growing pains, right? And the F-35 was even, I think, probably a little more worldly jointed.
Yeah, they put all the flags on the side of it.
All of them, dude. Exactly. So, like you said, there's advantages and disadvantages. I think the main reason why, like you mentioned, Saudi Arabia get involved. I mean, Saudi Arabia can really contribute with the finance piece of it, because it's super expensive to build and develop these.
I don't know. Did you see the oil market the other day?
Yeah, but I like we're talking about, like you said, 10 years, try probably 20 years, right? Minimum, right? Yeah. So all I'm saying is, the cost sharing is an advantage, but at the same time, if you have a country pumping in a bunch of money, they're going to want to say in things. So, what's good for one country might not be good for another country as far as capability or design capability, stuff like that. So we've talked about it in the past. It's really hard to make one airplane like fit the bill of many missions. And if this is an air superiority fighter only, I think it'll be easier. But even in air superiority roles, I mean, different countries, I think, are going to have different things on their wish list, which those, that can bring fighting later on in the process. So overall, I think it's a good thing. I never think it's a good idea to have just one option, because whoever owns that can essentially, there's no competition. There, in my mind, there's a benefit to having healthy competition. I think, it makes everybody better. But that's just what I think, man. What do you think?
We talked about this last show about the pitfalls of having too many contributors or too many. So joint works great when it works, but when you have too many people with too many requirements, you get, the Globojet that takes 3 times as long and doesn't live up to expectations. So that could be a problem. Honestly, though, I think this is a bargaining tactic, because if you actually read, I mean, we read the article, but the article is almost hollow. Yeah, we got a brochure. Australian Air Force is considering it. We got a brochure. All we did was watch the YouTube video. We got a presentation on the thing for something that doesn't exist yet. When did the F-47 get announced? Like a week or two ago, around the same time as this is coming out. Sometimes you announce things and you bring people to the table and, you know, you start getting in on the, hey, you know, Boeing, you know, maybe throw me a bone here, because what are they also doing with Boeing? Hornets. They're already in bed with Boeing on the Hornet. You know, they already have that relationship. They're probably already getting sold on it. You know, this is not a new relationship or a new concept for them. So I think some of this could just be, you know, hey, leak it to the media. We're getting information on it to try to solidify their position elsewhere and get a better deal. And maybe say, hey, remember how you said you're going to give us the crappy version? We don't want that. We want the good one. Or we want the cheaper. If you're going to make it crappier, we want it cheaper. Like, a lot of that is that art of the deal, the negotiation piece of it. And a lot of it too is, like you talked about, diversification. If they are really frazzled about things going on in America right now and our ability to produce a 6th-gen fighter, they might go, hey, let's get some information somewhere else. So I could see either of those, or they just, hey, we want to be on the ground floor of something and we know Boeing's not going to let us. That could be the other answer. They want to have a say in how this thing gets developed. But the more people that have a say, the less likely it is to be produced on time and on budget. That's just the way it works. I mean, the F-35, we've proven that. So, I mean, I think it's great that everybody's exploring option. I agree with you that we should have more than just one option out there, because I think competition makes us better, especially when it's competition amongst allies. I mean, Spitfire P-51. I mean, you know, having, if we only had a P-51 in World War II, would we have been as successful, you know, with our allies versus them having their own stuff? So I can see both ways of this going, but I really do think this might be a negotiation tactic.
Yeah, it might be, man. I mean, who knows? I mean, right now they're just these airplanes are just like, they're paper airplanes, basically, right? I mean,
yeah, right. And we can revisit this in 10 years,
25 years, right? Exactly.
Yeah, in 10 years when they're like, hey, we finally have a prototype. You know, okay, thanks, that's great.
Yeah, Huntington, right? That's when they're both supposed to fly.
Yeah, they'll be both at the Huntington Beach Air Show. 2035.
2035, 45. I mean,
yeah.